Welcome back, everybody, for another CBSI Hot 10 show. Make sure you go over to comicbookinvest.com and check out the article. We may drop a few more little details and nuggets that we don't talk or cover here today when we run through the list. Hopefully you're enjoying this as well as all the content here on the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Make sure you comment down below. And if you want to see this week's list, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and we will be right back.
Notable sales.
Our first book.
Coming in hot. Always recognizable. Phantom Lady, Matt Baker. 3.5. Hit a new all-time high for 3.5. Came in quite hot at 28.8, which is quite a jump over that 11.4 that it went for in 2021. People love Matt Baker. This is by far the most recognizable Matt Baker art with Phantom Lady.
They love their headlight covers.
We don't.
I'm not sure it's just that. It's like Baker was one of the easiest and fastest of this style of artist that you saw picking up pace early on years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a common name. It's easy for people to remember. Phantom Lady was like, when you start seeing her on t-shirts, you're like, okay, they're finally getting it. And it's good to see that it's still doing very well, that it hasn't fallen off because of that.
It's timeless. That's why.
Because I mean, a lot of the other Baker stuff, it's it's peppered in romance work and stuff like that. You can never remember all the titles because they all blend together. Phantom Lady is easy, has that recognition.
Very, very true. I like it. I like the yellow. I like the colors here.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Phantom Lady series got great covers.
I know.
I mean, they're crazy.
You can't afford any of these anymore, but
Yeah.
there was a time when they weren't that bad. Those times are long gone.
Long gone.
But then again, you never know, because we have another notable to share with you this week, and we take a different angle on this one. Not everything hits all-time highs.
Yes, batten down the hatches and start bailing out your sinking ships. Punch number 12, dropping like the Titanic hitting an iceberg. CGC 5.5 sold for $60,000. Last sold for $90,000 on November 2022. Oof.
I'm just telling you, there ain't room on that door.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Wow. This is a cover that is very, very heavily homaged.
Yep.
But none of them seem to really be able to touch the original. This is a beautiful cover. One I wish I could have in my PC, but sadly, I ain't got $60,000, let alone $90,000 to buy a 5.5.
I believe most recently homaged by the Al Capone Vampire series.
And there's one I know there's one for Ice Cream Man that was done.
Cross did one.
Remember that one? Yeah,
for one.
More interesting than all that
I homaged it for our Halloween show this year.
More interesting than all that homage nonsense is that like there was a higher grade of this that just sold for a brand new high, and typically in this style of book, in this age of books, when that happens, it rises up all the rest. And to see this happen is hopefully it's just an outlier, but might be a little bit concerning. So it's something we probably have to keep an eye on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's still. I mean, $60,000 is still a huge number, but
a $30,000 loss is huge.
Third.
That's just not how it works. I mean, I have a bunch of books that if all of a sudden this starts happening, I'm not so happy anymore.
It's a very particular market, and it's not a huge market in terms of buyers of golden age books that are above $50,000 in price.
Right. I understand that. But even typically with that, it's, there's always the steady gains on them. It has been historically.
I thought so as well, especially recognizable titles like this.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, even some that the regular average Joe comic book collector won't recognize. You would even get like the uptick, to the 2-year uptick where like the price of it every 2 years is going up a decent amount because it's rare to see them sell. I'm just saying in general, like this is something interesting to watch at. Hopefully it's just a one-off.
This also could be a case of this was part of like heritage sales last week. They had some huge auctions, auctions.
Too much stuff put together.
A lot of superhero stuff. So,
or maybe it's everybody's worried about the CGC pre-screen 9.9. So like all of them.
Don't forget, I do believe this book slid through on a facsimile and got in the high 9s as an original.
Wow. That is true. All right. Well, enough notable stuff. Let's just get into the actual list and start off with our first book.
Number 10.
Star Wars news.
Oh, speaking of pump, well, here comes the dump. Yeah, so there's a show called Star Wars, The First Jedi, or maybe Dawn of the Jedi, or whatever. So there's a book that has a title and pyramids on it, and sell it as fast as you can. It's like, what the fuck is in this book is horrible. Excuse my language, but yeah, I mean, this is a nonsense. This was a highly pumped book before. The pyramids were supposed to be in something already, and they haven't. The Dawn of the Jedi, if you remember the Stories of the Jedi, the original one where it had Ahsoka getting eaten like by a saber, like that was supposed to be this book. This is supposed it's just people who really remember. We've talked about this before. People are going to remember covers and stuff that's been pushed before, and this is the perfect case of this. This is a very highly pumped book. It's not worth what's written on, and if you can get the numbers out of this, I would suggest you sell it.
Yeah,
Or you don't. I mean, or you don't keep it. I don't care either way. I'm
these
just
prices
saying.
have been here kind of for a while. Like these don't really. This isn't a spike to get to 60 to 70. It's kind
Yeah,
of
but it
up
started
a little
falling
bit.
down again. Well, no, whenever it comes across news, because
Yeah.
sometimes I mean, like that's how pumps work, right? Like you need to take the book you have that you couldn't sell yet, and you need to push it into a narrative. So they pushed it into the Stories of the Jedi narrative when you had Ahsoka with the saber-tooth tiger eating it. You had it because there was a picture in the background of the Ahsoka show because there was a triangle. So that was supposed to be like the origins. What was that? The Mandalorian show or whatever. I mean, so they're going to keep doing this. And when this one doesn't pan out, like people are then going to try to push it again if they still have it. If not, and they sold it, then they won't anymore. But good luck.
Is the beginning of a new age. It's the dawn of the Jedi. That's what the new movie's going to be about.
Well, the Force Storm's coming too, right? Yeah, the Force Storm's coming too. Yeah, and isn't this super low print run? If you get the bronze stables, it's the real one.
There is a 1 in 5 cover of this that's also pretty expensive. There's a second print,
silver stable, yeah,
it also sells, but there's also a 0 issue. So technically, the 0 came before this one anyway.
If you get the pink, well, in Dark Horse, a lot of times 1 came before 0.
Did it? I thought 0
Dark
came
Horse
first.
doesn't always have the best paper.
Dark Horse doesn't always have the best.
I know, but I thought 0 still came first. But
this one 0 might have, yeah. But this one has got ships in pyramids, and then like if you look at the back of the dollar bill, there's a pyramid with an eye, and then like Illuminati. So this is technically the Dawn of the Jedi. Illuminati too.
Jeff Lemire's new series is going to be about, like maybe he's
absolutely
involved in some way too. Let's start some new wars.
Yep. Yeah. So buy this book, super hot. Yeah. All right.
Well, enough of that one. Let's get on to our next book.
Number 9.
Not that I think this one's much better, but you like your shiny chromium, we got you covered.
Speaking of buy, Evangeline number 1. This book is top in the charts, over 50 sales, average $15, high raw sale for $29 due to the option news with the attachment of the beautiful Margot Robbie and Olivia Wilde being attached to produce this movie. Coming from the I don't know if I want to call it eccentric or just coked out mind of Rob Liefeld.
Summer Rob.
The house that Rob built.
Yeah, there you go. The house that Rob built.
One of the
Evangeline
was Maximum Press. This wasn't Extreme Studios. This
Maximum Press.
This was later, right? After Extreme.
Yes, this was later. After Extreme.
And very Rob fashion. Instead of more pouches, it's more foil.
And more leg.
More leg, as much leg as you can handle.
Look at how long those arms are too. There's no elbows. It's just straight one. This is like what my 6-year-old draws an arm. It's just like that, bro.
It was the house style. This was the house style.
It was something. But it does have chromium on it, so that's cool.
Your 6-year-old that sells 2 originals.
Yeah, you can even get signed copies of these, like
I sold
35.
2 originals.
Did you hear? Oh, I
Yeah.
told it. Sorry, he sold 2 originals. I haven't cut that down. No more selling comics at school, bro. Like 86.
He used to.
Yeah,
he got pulled over that.
Well, he was going to get caught eventually. You can't do that, dude.
Yeah, that's not good.
Running your hustle at school, 6-year-old, not cool. All right.
Well, enough of that one. Let's hope our next one's more interesting.
Number 8.
All right, at number 8, Shalabal is back. Granted, she's not actually the Silver Surfer in this book, but technically she does become the Herald of Galactus in this what if alternate universe tale. Though I guess this makes this important.
I thought this was because Ugly sells, because that thing in Beast is just
Oh, that's
something
Well, they
special.
continued to mutate. That's the point. That's the
Bro.
what
Oh,
it
that's
is.
thing. I thought that was Toxic Avenger.
Granted, a lot of copies have sold the last week or two, with about 40. Highs hitting 35, but by and large, most of these are relatively cheap, but still moving for around like 10 to 15 for most of the sales. A 9.8 though, 210, and even that 35. High grades will get you a premium, but there's a lot of beat up copies of this first run of What If books because nobody really took care of their What Ifs.
I do have a
Beast
question
goes-
about that, Joe, because you said it. But what else are they going to mutate into? One mutated into Beast, the other mutated into Rock.
No, but they kept continuing. So he kept getting more rocky, and Beast kept getting
More
more
beasty.
feral.
Yeah, so he mutated
More
into
Beast.
Rock and then became more. Yeah, exactly. Like somebody
Yeah.
didn't ask them that. Like, what are you going to mutate the Rock into? More Rocky?
I don't. I think the Beast still looks better on this
Hey,
cover than
yo,
that Cassidy
Adrian.
cover. So.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's a book. Go hunt this book, guys. I mean, seriously, you can find this. You can definitely find this book.
You can find this book in dollar boxes and 50-cent boxes.
Yeah, just hopefully you don't get one too beat up. That's all.
It's
'Cause
all
you're
right.
not gonna
Just
get
put in
some
there
high-
like maybe high grade. Check the pictures.
Yep.
And just use a generic picture, not even the one of the book you're selling. You'll
There's
be all
some,
right.
there's some diamond emojis in there.
That's what they're doing, bro.
Fire-
Like
fire
I can't
emojis
tell-
will
that's
help.
what the market. Hey, this is supposed to be about the market. That's what they do. They literally just take somebody else's picture and heading and put it in there and say,
That's
could
true.
use a press and clean fire emoji.
I'm not a professional grader.
Not a professional grader. Look at the
I
picture.
will say most of these books are pretty beat up though, because they have
CGC
been sitting in dollar bins
question
for
mark.
That
years.
is true. That is true, though. That most of these are pretty beat because, again, nobody took care of What If. What?
CBS question mark?
Question mark. Great.
Question mark? CGC 98
PGX original.
Oh, boy. Let's get to our next one.
Number 7.
Even though our next one's back again.
Oh, number 7, a repeat from last week. Super Villain Team Up number 5. So this is all about the Shroud. 20 sales this past week, a $30 average, but at a high of $98. So the Shroud is now, spoiler alert, the new Moon Knight. Sorry.
It's been a week or two.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's been a week. So that's what's driving this book up. It's definitely not Namor and Mr. Fantastic. Although Doctor Doom might have something to do with,
Like I
I
said it last week with these books. I love this whole series because there's great Doctor Doom. So
You
if
got
you
Doom on
find
the
them
cover.
cheap, it's still a
So-
great series to have.
You know what I didn't notice about this before, but now I do?
What's
Mr.
that?
Fantastic's kind of a dick. Because instead of just like deflecting
You're
it
now
into
just
the air,
noticing that?
he just pushed the hand right into Thing's face so that Doom's blasting Thing right in the eyeballs, like bukkake him.
Well, he can
Yeah.
take it. I guess.
Yeah,
Did you just
but he
think
wasn't
it-
so mutated at this point. So
Yeah, and there were a couple of sales actually for high grade. A couple hit over $90. So if you could find this one in good shape, you can get yourself a nice premium. It seems, but just like the What Ifs, most of these are kind of beat up, banged up because Supervillain Team Up wasn't anybody's favorite except maybe Joe's.
I love
Maybe
Doom.
It's good Doom covers. He does have a good point.
Great
If you're
covers.
if you're one of the people who've been buying Doom covers, like you have this one. So
right, exactly.
there's
Fair
some
enough.
good Fantastic Four titles. There's some good early Fantastic Four titles that are cheap with Doom covers. Cheap.
That is true too. All right, let's see what we got here next.
Number 6.
Adams.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be a week without an Art Adams ratio in the Hot 10. So there it is. Incredible Hulk 11. It's not a chick Adams. I like it. It's a good Art Adams cover.
It is.
It's
It is. I like
decent-
it.
It's a decent ratio cover. It's sharp. We've been getting Danzig Hulk in all these covers recently, so it's nice to see kind of a more classic Hulk.
Yeah, classic monster look.
Yeah, and like the
yeah.
teeth work that he's doing on this cover is amazing. Like it's pretty, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yes, I mean this is a
oh, it's
solid
really
cover.
cool. Yeah, it like gets you like, hey, how you doing?
Other than the
It's
fact
a little- it's a
they
little-
look
it's a
less
little
like
Art
teeth
Adams.
and more like toenails.
It's a little bit of an Art Adams palette cleanse. Well, I'm
Fuck
sure
up
we'll get a
toenails.
top heavy lady in a ratio soon enough. But
What kind of
I
bam
like
feet
it.
do you have with toenails like that, bro?
Yeah.
Size 15s. Ready to ride.
But I like it. It reminds me of Adams did some Kong or Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah,
He did some gorilla covers a while, ways back, and I like when he
it's
when
got
when
that
he gets
vibe.
away from
He
the
does
ladies
a
for a
great
little
job. If you like actually start looking at like even like the eye placement and everything, he really just, because you see the vibrant colors and everything and like the just the aggressiveness of his art, there's all these fine little details that he puts in there that's just amazing. So
It's just a good classic Hulk
Yeah.
cover. I haven't seen a Hulk cover I've liked in a while, but I do like this. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad to see a non-chick cover, because it's the sexy lady covers we can rip apart and be like, oh, this one's not that good, and we run it down. But occasionally he'll give us something different.
And it's nice, honest numbers. You got a dozen sold of a 1 in 25, 35 to $50. They'll probably tamper down next week closer to ratio, but
Yeah.
For now,
let
do
it
it
get
all
spotlight
right
for this week.
let's see what we got for the top half of the show.
Number 5.
Number 5, more Star Wars.
All of these 1 in 25s have been doing well. We saw a little bit of a dip after the first week of the ugly cover, which was 3 and 2 had a little bit of like the 35, a little bit above ratio, more selling. But this now coming to Gist, people, Star Wars fans in particular, like Gist's work on it. It's over double ratio on average. Highs going for 88, which is, is surprising because if you looked at some of the other 1 in 25s coming out of Star Wars, they really weren't this weekend done as well. So good to see. Final one. There we go. Story sucked, but it's okay. We already knew that because we all read the novel, right? And first cover, last cover are pretty cool. So there you go. That's what you got here. I mean, it's not hard to figure this one out.
Nice. I didn't know this was the end. I thought it was running 6, like they usually do.
Isn't it 4? I think it's 4.
I don't know. You're probably right, but
Yeah,
I do like
4.
this Gist cover.
Throw it in the box, forget about it, and 7 years later, somebody will be like, remember that Thrawn Alliance is 1 in 25?
True. Pre-scan this, try to get a 9.9 out of it, then throw it in a box, forget about it, and then sell it. That's what you should do. I mean, it's a good one. You get a ship. It's actually the only one where, besides the first one where he was pretty predominant on it, then you start doing the double mess up covers and stuff like that, or ugly faces, and it actually looks like the real.
I do like getting to see the design of his ship, though.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Kind of fun. It's unique for him.
I mean, this cover, the Anakin's nice, the Vader's nice, and then why does Thrawn look like he's been kicked by a horse in the face?
What do you mean?
That's because that's his face.
That's what
Don't
it
make
looks
fun
like.
of the man's
No,
face.
it just looks caved in like hoof prints.
Yes,
like
that's
he
what his
literally
face looks
kicked
like.
right in the face.
That's what his face looks like.
I want to put a chef's hat
Damn,
on him
man.
and put him in line at Old Country Buffet to slice meat.
He needs to.
That
He
would
needs
work.
to.
Yes,
That's
Chef.
all I think of.
He needs to change his face.
Yeah,
He looks
pretty close to the one that we saw on screen. Apart from instead of the pot belly, they put the extra in his pants, so he's got
A little bit. They gave him a little bit. If you blow the picture
Hammer
up,
pants.
if you see it in real life, he does have a little bit of a chub in the front end. So
Whoa.
but do remember, I wasn't pervert. I wasn't talking about that, nor was I talking about. He is also younger in this than he is in the TV show.
Fair enough.
That's a perv.
All right.
I'm not the one that's talking about a dude's chub over here.
Chub, as in his tummy, not where you're
Let's
looking,
stop with
buddy.
the red carpet criticism of Thrawn's look and move on to our next book.
You and Wasting are just in love with that man.
Number 4.
Here you go.
Speaking of
Keep it going.
pervs,
Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm gonna make that a thing eventually.
Wow.
So yeah, Worldwood #1. It's a beautiful Dave Stevens cover. This little mini series had 4 issues where you had Stevens had this cover. He had a cover on #2, which is the mother handing the little alien.
Little alien.
Little alien one, and then 3 and 4 were Wallace Wood. I won't call him Wally because he didn't like Wally. Or Wallace Wood covers. But this is a great Stevens cover. It's weird that Stevens is always associated with Rocketeer, but all the books except for the Rocketeer books seem to really be doing exceptionally well.
That is true.
I mean, the Rocketeer books are doing okay. They're still going up, but this book to be a high sale of 90 plus and going for 40 to 75 bucks. This was an all day, every day kind of $10-15 book on eBay for the longest time. Sometimes even cheaper if you bought it in the lot with the full 4-issue series. So
once again, I'll bring up the point that I think maybe because he's on top of mind, and a lot of channels, including ourselves, are doing a lot of coverage of him, that we're seeing this. And I would not be. This isn't like the Baker scenario where there's like classic things of it. And if I was a betting man, I would bet that maybe some of these, including World of Wood, is going to maybe after
What's a great series. This is one of his
$10
better
portion.
covers. It's one of his better
weird
covers.
plateaus this week. Like I said, it started at 40, then the next few copies hit the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk, maybe because ever since the Rocketeer talk, but because of that we've been hearing about this. I'm just saying, where does this end when the die out? When the
you think the hentai is the first to go? The hentai action's gonna.
I'm not sure the hentai action in World of Wood is.
This is always because it's a good girl cover, because it's a bit of a bondage cover. It'll always do well within that market. Stuff like when his Xena stuff starts slipping, the Xena cover starts slipping, then you're like, okay, now I'll follow that.
Right.
I mean, this cover has it all: perfect Keith J. Strombo chokehold, potential tentacle porn, and half naked chick. It's got everything the Rocketeer doesn't.
Very fair.
It tells you what the fans of Dave Stevens are, huh? Yeah.
Hey,
don't worry.
I resemble that comment.
Like myself, we still got
Number 3.
And with number 3, we still got more Dave Stevens action for you.
Come on,
the train is chugging right along. Hashtag the Stevens train. But yeah,
it's still not
like this is DNA Agents 24. It's riding the coattails of Planet and all the other books before it, and just joining the group. It's joining the group. This has always been one of his covers that people have liked, and it's hitting that triple-digit mark that we've been seeing a lot of these books hit. So
Planet, there's like 4 to 5 Stevens books that kind of stand above the rest in terms of price, and always have. This is definitely one of them.
Wouldn't this book, I have a question, wouldn't it be called DN Agents?
Yes.
Okay.
DN Agents. Yeah.
DN Agents.
U.S. Agent.
DN
Agents. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
Now you're confused.
There's definitely a premium at the high end of the 9.6s are still reasonable for a lot of these books. I mean, they're out, they've gone up, but that bump in the 9.8 for a lot of the other Stevens stuff outside of Planet is significant, because again, the Kamiko, Eclipse, Pacific, they're books that aren't printed on the best paper, weren't taken care of exceptionally well. So high grades are nice in these books.
And one more thing before we go on to number 2. This picture, this image for Stevens is, like Joe was saying, one of his top, more iconic covers.
Yeah, the other one.
That people buy other books because there is an ad for this on the back.
Yep.
Like that would be, it makes other books valuable because this picture's on the back or inside.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't in the same category as the last Wood book.
No,
it's a different category. Yeah.
When Rainbow Bright breaks bad, grows up and starts an OnlyFans, you get DN Agent.
DN Agent.
Oh, with that, let's get on to number 2.
Number 2.
Yes, the Samurai Rabbit. As my sister calls him, Little Bunny Guy. Usagi Yojimbo, The Crow, number 1. This is a 1 in 40 retailer incentive, drawn by Mitsuhiro Arita. And
nailed it.
This book, I mean, I think that it wasn't ordered a lot. I buy a lot of Usagi covers, and I missed this one. I haven't been going to the shop as often as I was. And I didn't order this one in advance, and he didn't even get enough to get this copy. So, I mean, but this is definitely a gorgeous cover. Samurai Rabbit in all of its glory. And it's still selling. There was a couple sales this past week. $85, and then
a crazy auction.
$465 at auction with 33 bids. That's just nuts.
I think that's the one that proves your point, right? Like, we hear all the time, because everybody loves to use the verbiage of like, ooh, like not great paper, or ooh, very short print run, or oh, not a lot of people ordered this. But when you look at this book, there just isn't even, it's like for a week old book, even when it was last week, there's not a lot of these available. They just aren't
cupboard's bare.
available. There's nothing there. And then I think people got scared. Somebody took down one of their offers, and then it looked like a best offer got accepted at 85. And then, yeah, I mean, like 465 with 33 bids.
Yeah,
that's
great.
telling you
Or a
people are
raw
going
copy,
after it.
yeah. I mean, that's just
Going after it. A 2-week-old book. I mean, like, come on, man. This is
Yeah.
where those terms, I think, really are proper. Plus, Dark Horse is really screwing stuff up. So who knows? I mean, there could be like 100 of these showing up next week. We just don't.
I think they really put themselves in a corner making this a 1 in 40, but it's 40 years of Usagi, so I think that's why they did
between their
no
solicitation,
shop is ordering 40
Nobody
copies.
puts Yojimbo in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not just that. It's like Dark Horse has had a ton of delivery / solicitation problems.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean, and it has not been a 1 week.
High
thing.
Republic
This has been a year.
Adventures.
Yeah, this has been like a year thing. So like,
Yeah.
so no doubt. This one has all the wrong things going for it and all the right things if you got it.
Awesome cover. They didn't count on the popularity of Shogun.
Oh, that
I don't think that's what.
A lot of things going for this.
I don't
right
think that's what that Pete. No,
I know.
Go back to
Confluence
not a
of
lot.
good fortune.
Go
I
back
think
to
you nailed.
there's
I think you
fans of
nailed it,
this.
Pete. 100% nailed it. Knocked it out of the park.
That is not
Just
true.
bullseyes all
That's
the
exactly
way.
what I was saying. Don't do, and he does it. Okay,
Oh,
good
we
job,
have
Pete.
fun here. That's why I did it.
All right.
Oh, with that said, we got one left for you. Let's see what we got on top of the pile.
And our number 1.
I spoiled
At
it a little.
number 1, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin number 1. The return of Eastman and Laird together to make a new Turtle series. Raws average $100 plus. CGC 9.8s are going for $240 to $300. CGC 9.9, 9.9s.
9.9.
Get those pre-screens.
Pre-screen.
Sold for $475. Everyone knows by now the Legend of the Last Ronin, Michelangelo, spoiler alert, being the last turtle alive, avenging his brother's deaths as he tries to free New York City, if you want to call it that, from the evil clutches of the Shredder's grandson.
You know what? This actually
Live action.
What actually
Yes,
is interesting about this is you're seeing now. Originally, if you caught a 9.9, even on a modern book, the price would be astronomically higher. That's a pretty low price for a 9.9.
Well,
For
this
$10
is a
book.
prestige format.
Yeah, it's also prestige.
You're
I know that's
bound.
not. I know. Yeah. I get all that. I'm just
It's
saying
easy
in
for
general.
them. It's like the Batman the Damned. Like
Batman
you
the
got a
Dam
lot
was the
of
same way.
9.9s.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
when they first started getting graded 9.9s were definitely
before
more
their
common.
pre-screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
before
got a
they-
million covers. And
Oh,
that too.
2 million.
how many people are
covers.
going to rush this now for pre-screen now that the news of the live action movie coming, which as a Turtles fan, I'm stoked for. And I really hope it's like in the mindset of the 90s original movies with the puppet versus what
Vanilla
we've been
Ice? We're gonna have
getting for
Vanilla
Turtle
Ice.
I hope
Vanilla
so.
Ice
That'd
doing
be
news.
awesome.
It's
Last
going to be
Ronin?
rated R, so it's
Last
definitely.
Ronin rap.
I hope
I
they
don't
stop
know.
collaborate and listen.
Last Ronin rap.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I think it's going to be Vanilla Ice's like grandson, Vanilla.
No, don't.
Yeah,
Gelato.
I got nothing. Nope, you ruined my joke. I was going to call him Vanilla Dry Ice.
TCB Ice.
You
We
that
think we
was
saved
you.
you
You
then.
would have ruined your own joke at that point. So, no, but this is cool, man. It's good. I was just telling Dub I need
Yeah.
to.
Stop
Option
trying to
news,
steal my
obviously.
shine, Marco.
It wasn't
This
me.
is
It
gonna
was
get made
Pete.
the movie.
I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
It was Pete who stole it with your vanilla. You wrong person. Wrong person.
Look at me.
I hope they do a good job with this. I'm looking forward to this. I like this story when it came out, even though it took a year and a half to come out. I still liked it. I recommend anyone to read it.
No spoilers, guys. No
Well,
spoilers.
they had a
spoilers,
billion
no
and one
spoilers.
covers to get organized for each issue, so that's what took so long. I think.
They
Cowabunga,
kept
man.
reprinting it before they put the next issue out. So
Yeah.
And now, are
Okay.
these prices just on the A cover?
Just A, yes.
Just
I
A.
try to avoid everything else, so this is
I
just
was
the
gonna say
A.
there's
cover
some
right now.
Which is
already
wild,
some
isn't it?
astronomical store exclusives out there.
they
It's
were already
wild.
expensive, and even the ratios don't sell as well as this. The 1 in 10 and the
No.
1 in 25, probably because of the number of store exclusives. But then this
Yeah.
cover is the like classic. This is the cover, you know. So.
It is wild that this cover took off the way it did, but it's also nice because it was easy to find, and then it wasn't easy to find. So
Well, that is our list for this week. And if you like turtles, you can come join us on TAC next week, and we're going to be covering some more turtle stuff. But before then, stick around right after we're done here for the qualified.
I like turtles.
Nice.
I like that.
little Harley spotlight tonight with no singing. So
No singing.
Just
Sure.
to look at some Harley books. Yeah, I'm not singing.
I kind of want to hear Jedi sing us a couple of bars or something.
Okay.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
but yeah, you guys will have the outside looking in and all the other great segments that you have. And then come back on Saturday for SNS, Star Wars on Sunday. And then next week we'll start it all anew on Monday. And we'll see you all later. All right.
Later.